All right, these countertops are not too terribly difficult to remove. You just want to make sure there's no hardware up from the cabinet through the bottom holding it on. So the first thing you want to do is pull out the cabinet drawer, set it off to the side. Careful of that nice new paint job. Grab a flashlight and just verify that there is no hardware holding on this countertop to the substrate. And all I see is silicone, so this one should hopefully pop off nice and easy. All right, so go ahead and grab a utility knife, and you want to score all the silicone seams on the countertop. That off to the side. Probably don't need this. And hopefully it'll pop right off without damaging the cabinet. So what you also want to check is make sure you don't have any silicone on the front edge of this cabinet face. And if you do, just score it as deep as you can, but I don't. So there we go. So I'll flip it over so you guys can see how these things are installed. On my house, it might be different in your house, but they just put a couple globs of silicone and set it down, pushed it down, leveled it off, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right, so the quartz countertops that I currently have are only a 1/2 inch thick, and they're fairly lightweight, as you saw. But the granite countertops we're going to put in, I believe, are 3/4 inches thick, and they're a lot more heavy. So what we have to do is we have to put a 3/4 inch sheet of plywood substrate across this whole cabinet and make it nice and square and level. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the old supports and move on to the next one, grab some plywood, measure everything out, and install a new one. But for now, let's go ahead and yank the old stuff out. So these are, yeah, I mean, they just popped off that easy because they only put a little bit. They didn't even put any silicone on the back, but that's all right. It held. I won't even need these guys. Yep, comes off that easy. Now you want to be very careful because you want to do as little damage as possible so it's less prep work when you go to do the new ones. All right. Now, make sure I score this backsplash pretty good because we're getting a new one. There's a little epoxy seam between the backsplash behind the stove and this backsplash, so just pinch in there. But you know what? Here's what we'll do. I'll get the other one pulled out. I'll pull the stove out and do the backsplash as one whole piece to make my life a little bit easier. So we'll shift over to this countertop. And pause it real quick, or stop. All right, so I shifted over to the right side countertop on the right side of the stove. So I need to take this backsplash off, and just the same as how I pulled the countertop of that, I'm gonna do it on here. I'm gonna score the caulking line. Your first pass should be nice and easy, and then you can add more pressure. You'll know when you get to the behind it. Yep. Yep. All right, then over here. You're probably going to fight a little bit of grout or mortar on this seam, but utility blades are cheap. All right. Here's where you want to be extra careful, because you want to do, like I said earlier, as little damage as possible. Yeah, I know it's a gasket scraper. And just keep working it. If you're doing a complete demo, I mean, I'd say go ahead and rip it off, but we might attach the new backsplash directly over this one. So I'm trying to keep it intact, but we'll see if that works. I think the grout is holding it up. There we go. There we go. Push that off to the side. Let's see. Actually, they used matting back there, not mortar. So. All right, so now the back. You want to release that silicone caulking from the back. Set my tools off to the side. Make sure I have no hardware, no caulking popping out. If I do score it, this one has a little bit. Pry it up and wiggle it out. Perfect. Set this to the side, and I'll pull out. All right, so pretty quick and simple, 5-10 minutes and you got 2 countertops pulled out. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull the stove out, and we'll get that backsplash pulled.